Now onto the requirements, the detail of actually what we're going to be building. So the requirements for the API itself are: it must return a JSON response for all routes. This is so there's a consistent format returned so client applications know what to expect. It should implement caching where appropriate. Caching allows the API to return a result from cache if it is called within a certain amount of time. This lightens the load on the servers and it can deliver a response from its own cache, meaning it doesn't have to send the request back to the server. You need to use this with caution though, as if you update a task, you will always want to get the latest version from the server and not the cache version. Next, the task itself needs an ID, a title, a description, a deadline date and a completion status. So we'll have to make sure we implement these fields within the database and also return them on the API as part of the response. Now there are a few different routes that are needing to be implemented. Remember, a route is just an endpoint that you call, e.g. /tasks or /tasks/1 to get task 1. So the first one to return is a list of all tasks within the system. Remember, eventually this will be per user. The route for this will be /tasks. Next, depending on how many tasks you store, it's a good idea to allow paging of results. For example, if this was being used as a shop API that returns all the list of products instead of tasks, a store can have thousands of products. It wouldn't be good practice or a good user experience to return thousands of products at once. This can be slow and take up a lot of server resources for each request. So what we do is to allow a certain amount to be returned per page, for example 20 per page. We then create a route to call the next page, which will then return the next set of results. The route for this will be /tasks/page/1 or /tasks/page/2 for page 2. We will then need to return the details of just one task using the task ID. The route for this will be /tasks/1 to get task ID 1. The API must also be able to return either just incomplete or complete tasks only. And as previously mentioned, this will be per user as well. The route for this will either be /tasks/complete or /tasks/incomplete. So that is all of the return task routes. Now we need to be able to delete a task for a given ID. And for this, the route will be /tasks/1, for example, for task ID 1, or /tasks/2. Next, we need to allow a way for a task to be updated. We won't be updating the task ID, as this is a system-generated identifier. So we'll just allow for the title, description, deadline date and completion status to be updated, although you might not want to update all of the details at once. So it should allow just, for example, a title to be updated and leave all the other details the way they are. Once a task has been updated, it should return the updated task in the response. The route for this will be /tasks/1, where 1 is a task ID. Finally, we need to allow a new task to be created. Once a task has been created, it should return the newly created task in the response. The route for this will be /tasks. Okay, that's the end of these API requirements. Next we'll move on to the authentication requirements.